Hello and welcome to Stress Less with me, Jess. Today, my special guest is Nichole Howard. Hello, Nichole.
Hi, so happy to be here.
I'm so excited to be here. So we met, I always like to start at the beginning of where we met. So we met not even a year ago, right? I
Yeah,
think it's
it
been
hasn't been a
super
year. It's
fresh.
actually been since I want to say
October.
September. Like September because we were like talking in September, and then like October when we actually met face to face.
Oh, that's right, because you hired me to speak for your
Women
nonprofit.
United, yes,
Yes, yes.
so needed, so
So
helpful to have you.
that was such a fun night. And I think we just decided we're gonna be best friends after that. And so we've just been getting coffee and sushi ever since. So
Yeah,
hello.
hello. How are you? It's a good day, right?
So
Eagles in
good.
the Super Bowl. We were just chatting about that. And of
Yes, we both got
course,
our Eagles cups today.
oh my
Yes.
gosh. And yeah, I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
I'm
It's
excited. It's gonna be good. This podcast, Super Bowl, it's all gonna be great.
yeah.
So let's get started. So who the heck are you? So you are a branding photographer. But and I have so super nutshell, super like plug in is that I've never used your actual services. This is really sad. But I've been with you and you've taken pictures of things, and everybody's like, oh my God, who is that woman that follows you around? I'm going, no, we're just friends. Like, she just makes me look good. And I and because of that, they started following you. And every time someone has started to follow you, I always get a text message saying, she represents herself so well and they fall in love with you. So I just always wanted to let you know that. I don't know if I ever told you that.
No, you didn't, but now I'm so like that just like made my whole day. Because it's always you don't know how you come off, right? Like, and that's just like the just how it is, right?
Oh, for sure.
So
No,
it's
it's
so nice to hear that. You can tell you can tell you've never told me because I'm just like, oh my God, thank you.
tissues are coming out, you
Yeah,
know.
genuine response.
I love it. I love it. So it just shows how more amazing you are. So you are a headshot and branded photographer for ambitious women who feel motivated to serve their communities and confident about achieving their dreams and goals. This is so true. I've seen your photo shoots. I've been behind the scenes, and the way you are a hype girl for us, it's just, yeah, we're just like, oh, we can conquer the world. This is great. So you're not just that amazing. You also have been featured in the Philadelphia Magazine as well, and national TV stations such as MTV. I had such a spring break flashback when I saw you wrote MTV. Do you remember spring break when it would just like
Yes.
pop?
Oh my gosh. Dude, I used to TRL. Are you kidding me?
Yes, that's what I'm
I was an
saying.
avid watcher. I every single day when I would come home, I was like, Carson Daly, what's up? Oh my gosh. And I used to like, I remember when I was younger, I actually wished I could go to Times Square and like have them pan down to the crowd and like be in the crowd with the sign, be like, BSB, I love you. Those are the days. Oh my gosh. No, I just dated myself. It's fine.
Yeah, now we're adults. So I think that's what we call
Anyway,
it.
yeah, MTV was cool.
So it's so cool. So you have such like I said, I talk highly about you myself. People that follow you talk highly about you. They even reached out to me and say how well they like love what you do. So let's get into it. What even got you started into photography? Because
Mhm.
it's different. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that do it, but what got you started?
So for me, I actually always love taking pictures. So I take it, it's funny, like I actually had to think this one through. So going all the way back into my young my young life, my grandmother was always taking pictures. My dad was always taking pictures. Like to the almost like to the point where I'd be like, Dad, like stop creeping, you know? Like off in the corner. And actually the funny part is like I actually didn't see a lot of those pictures. My sister and I still joke that they're gonna be like an archive in the basement somewhere. But the point being was like they always were just such big advocates of capturing the moment because they valued just our time together so much and they wanted to be able to reflect on it later. So this is before we had iPhones, before you could easily just like take a picture in a millisecond. But they just always valued it. Like even we would go to dinner, and this is I laugh now because my grandma was probably ahead of her time. She didn't know it. We used to go to dinner in Media, Pennsylvania at the townhouse, and she would take out, there was a lull in conversation. She would take out a stack of photographs from her purse. Yes, I kid you not. And from all of our lives, yeah, like just be like, so do you remember this moment? It would be like going through, like we would scroll Facebook now, like, do you remember when? Like literally just like, here we go. So I think it was instilled in me in a really young age, but I didn't actually get my first camera until I was 30. My first DSLR, my first like official camera. And it was it was such a big moment for me. I actually cried happy tears, which has happened to me like twice in my life. So I knew in that moment it was something special because it was just something that I had never invested in. It's an expensive piece of equipment. So I was always working in nonprofit. I was raised by a single mom. So I never really invested in myself in that way. So getting that gift changed my life. And from that point on, I just started playing and I taught myself. And it's kind of evolved to what it is today. And I'm just so grateful. I mean, people talk about that flow state, right? That you get in and you're like, this is it. This is when you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing because everything else fades away. That's how I feel when I'm on set or taking a photo. It's always just everything else fades away. So I knew it was the right place for me.
Oh, I don't think I knew that story. That's such a beautiful story.
I don't think I've ever told it that way before. It's funny because I never really reflected on it until recently. And I was like, wow, this actually goes way back.
Isn't it crazy how you start to really think about why you do what you do? And we think about there's certain things that happen in our life, right? And we don't have to get into those. We all have our woe moments. But like, if you really think about certain things that you did growing up and you're going, no, this is where I was supposed to be. I mean, we had to go through a couple of bumps in the road to get here, but this is where I was supposed to be. And like you said, I've had those days, and I don't know about you, and I'm thinking this what you mean when you say this. I've had the hard day, the hard day. I just get done crying and I'm like, but I have so much passion for what I do. And it brings me so much joy that I get into the room, I go speak, I'm going, it just relights me up going, you're okay. You're safe. You're going to get through this. And I don't think my normal 9 to 5 job would have done that, you know?
Nope.
Yeah.
I can relate to that so deeply because I built this on the side of working my 9 to 5. So it was like the side hustle, right? So everybody talks about having a side hustle. And my dream, I knew, was always to go full time because I knew how I felt when I was taking pictures and out and supporting and being of service in that way and really using my gifts and talents in a way that I wanted to be using them. I think there's a very distinct difference between being good at something and being able to do something and being capable at it, which I'm very capable in what I was doing as a project manager. And I did a lot of that work, and being brought alive by something and also being skilled by that and having that actually fuel you as you're giving away. So like your energy and your time and whatever. So I think there's literally like two ways. And I think sometimes we get pulled down that road of like what we're told we're good at. And we're like, okay, I guess I can do this. I can make money at this. I can do this because I'm technically capable. People tell me I'm capable and I get good feedback, but like, it doesn't feel like I don't go into the same flow state. I don't get that same energy back. So I always feel grateful that I found this because I know not everybody does find it, but I don't know. That's kind of how I've looked at it. Like, tell me what you think, but that's always just been like when I would compare it in my head when I was doing both at the same time, I was like, yes, this is so different. That's how I knew.
It's how you knew it. You know, we connected too because we both worked in the restaurant industry. And when I was growing right. And when I was growing my business, I went back to the restaurant industry for a little bit to kind of, supplement income and everything in between. And I love bartending. It wasn't that I hated the job. And I'm thinking the same thing with the nonprofit. You still love it, but there's a different kind of spark. There's a different kind of energy. There's a different kind of, I'm tired, but I still want to do this out of joy, because there's difference, right? When I was bartending and I didn't feel good and I was like, oh, well, I have to make money or I have to show up. Or when I was working my 9 to 5 and I'm like, well, I just have to do it. I'll push through. It's a different kind of feeling, But I think right. And I think that's what you really do. And correct me if I'm wrong when I'm understanding branding. That's what you capture when you do pictures, when you go out there and you go, okay, how can I make this more personalized? You find that spark, you find that energy, and you put it in a photographer or a picture. I mean,
yes, such a good question. So branding photography is an interesting niche because a lot of people haven't really heard of it. They've heard of branding, right? Because when you walk into a Starbucks and how it feels when you walk into a Starbucks or how it feels when you walk into a Target. That's branding.
Love it.
You know that color red, right? That very specific Target red. And and that cup you get from Starbucks, that feeling you get, that's all branding, right? What somebody's wearing, what somebody's saying to you, how their visual identity. And that's where I come in. I come in at that visual identity piece. And this is where it takes it a step further than branding, especially with small business owners, is there's personal branding. So this niche has really elevated and become more popular, I'd say, in the last few years with the rise of small business owners. I think the big shift, there was actually a very big shift in after COVID. Actually, a lot of women left the workforce after COVID and left the traditional workforce and started their own businesses. So that's been on the rise ever since COVID kind of happened, which I love because I'm like, yes, there's so many women who could serve out here, but you need to essentially share your story, your essence with the world so they know, like, and trust you, and they are more willing to buy from you.
Yeah.
So I capture your essence when I come on site with you. That's what I work for when you say I want to book with you. I have a whole prep session in advance where I send you a questionnaire. We work through what are all the places you need to show up? What are some of the ways that you're launching your business? Where's your ideal client? How do you want to be presented to the world? What are your colors? Like some of the basic stuff too. And we go through all that. And then all of that is put into a very personalized photo shoot so that your visual identity will be shown to the world. And people, when they come to you, will start to know what to expect. And that's so key because people want to trust you. They actually, they're Brand Builders is a really cool organization. And they did a research study of over 1,000 Americans within the last year and a half. And in that study, they found that Americans across all demographics, whether you're a boomer or a Gen Z, were more likely to buy from somebody with a personal brand, 82% more likely to buy from somebody, is that a tongue twister? With a personal brand.
I knew what you meant. You got it out. Don't you worry.
And this is that toolkit to help you build that, right? Because how do you build that? You have to show up in all the places to be seen, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's your website, whether it's a pitch to an organization. You want to put yourself in there, right? People want to see you. They don't want to see a stock image. So that all differentiates you in the marketplace. So that's what I help people do, really build their visual identity in a personalized way with these photographs. And I've even started doing a little bit of video, very little, just started doing some B-roll because I know that's where the marketplace is also, you need that too. But yeah, it all kind of comes together so that you can get out there and attract your ideal client. You can grow your business and really show up in the way that you feel authentic. So
I love that. So speaking of ideal client, what would be your ideal client? I know we said women ambitious, but can you clarify that a little bit?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've worked with so many different women, from lawyers to interior designers, and those are two opposite ends of the spectrum, but they both needed support. So for me, it's really somebody who's looking to take their marketing to the next level, to be ready to be the face of their organization and let that be their differentiator. If you're not really ready to take that next step and really be in front of your business, I think that's a little bit harder to get into the personal branding piece. But if you're ready, or you're even thinking about it, that's something I want to talk to you, because I want to show you how it can really help you grow. I've worked with women, mostly small business owners. Like I say, that can be anywhere from, 0 to 500 people that, you're supporting. And honestly, I've worked with people from New York to Oregon. So it's across the board. I like a lot of coaches, I like helping other women who are just really want to get out there and grow their businesses and grow their brand. So
You're so amazing. What is the best way for someone to contact you? So they're listening to you, they're going, yes, 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 give me her. What's the best way to contact you?
They can I'm everywhere. So I'm like almost too many places sometimes. They can email me, definitely hit up my website, NicholeMCHphotography.com, or on Gmail, NicholeMCHphotography@gmail.com. You can email me direct. I'm on Instagram, same thing, Nichole MCH Photography. I'm Facebook, most likely Instagram, and my website are the best ways to get me.
Awesome. And wherever you're listening to this episode, it'll be repeated in the podcast notes. So whether it's, on social media, on YouTube, wherever you're listening to it, the podcast notes are going to repeat. Nichole, if everyone's listening right now, what is the one thing you want them to take away from the episode?
I would just say that, branding is great. And I love building a business on the side. And I think, Jess, this goes back to a lot of what you do as well as a stress coach, is if you, especially are in the service industry, you need to think about, how can I fill up my own cup so that when I'm literally showing up to pour into others' cups. Like I'm doing it in a way that feels really good. And that's so hard to find time for yourself and to show up in a way that, feels joyous. Like that takes effort and time. And so I would say just find time for yourself. Like just carve it out, even if it's 5 minutes, right? With yourself. I mean, you have so many great stress tips that you give out. And I feel so honored that I got to see you speak because I was so motivated by what you said. It really makes a difference. Like whether you're reframing it, just how you're showing up in your personal relationships, like yeah, take time to take care of you. As cliche as it may sound, it's important. It's really critical for your business.
Yeah, especially for yourself and your business. It goes hand in hand for sure. You're
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
Before I let you go, I got to do the lightning round with you. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes. I'm a little nervous. It's fine.
I need to start adding like some music at this point, like dun dun.
I know.
Dun,
I'm like,
dun,
okay, let's go. I'm like, should I start like running around doing a little?
Yeah, it's a little laps around. Okay, let's get started. Favorite time of the year?
Summer, hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down. Yeah, no questions. I'm like, give me that pool, give me that beach all day.
What is the word that you always say?
Oh. No, it's not that. It's not that. I would say, I don't know. I say 1,000% a lot. When I'm agreeing with somebody, I say that a lot. Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know.
Have you ever listened to any of my podcasts? It's me. I always go, right? I love
I do that too. I do that too all the time. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that because I listened to myself. I was on a podcast and I was like, I say right?
all the time.
All the time. And I actually started hearing myself during this. I was like, make it stop. Make it stop. That and like, yeah. Gotta stop. I know. I'm like, I do know what I'm talking about.
I do. Favorite curse word?
I can say it.
You say it.
Fuck. Hands down, the best one, the worst one. It's great. It fits in any circumstance, whether you're happy or sad.
Yeah. It's a different kind of adrenaline,
It's fucking great or it fucking sucks. Works either way.
Who do you text the most?
My sister.
Oh, the way you went. I love that. If you were given $10,000, what would be the first thing you spend it on?
Oh, wow. It's so funny. Actually, I would put some of it in my business. I want a new website. If I'm being super transparent, I really want a new website. I built my own. So I'm like at the point where I'm like, this is kind of getting clunky for me now. So I just like want like a really snazzy website. Like I love mine. I built it. So, but you know,
really
I think I'll go there first. Yeah. And then maybe buy myself a nice dress or something. Gotta love cute clothes, man. They always make you feel good.
I know. Shoot, I just lost my second question. Not my second question. My next question.
What would you buy? Actually, I'm like, what would you buy, Jess?
If you am I on lightning round right now? I was thinking about my grandparents. And I always like want to give them something. So they're my first thought is like giving them some money. They work their butt off. Yeah, they're amazing people. They're my life. Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah. And maybe a dog farm. I don't know. Can you buy out there with $10,000?
I mean, maybe it depends on where. Yeah, and I'll come to your dog farm. That sounds like a positive where dogs can like run around and like have a good time.
Yeah,
like yeah, absolutely. I'll bring my dog. Let's go.
I mean, my dogs are.
I'll invest some of my $10,000, so your $10,000, and we make a dog farm.
Granted, my pugs are sleeping in their heated bed behind me, so I don't really know if they would enjoy the dog farm. But it's a possibility.
They're treated very well.
The hard life. What is your advice for a business owner?
Best advice for a business owner. Great question. I know it's supposed to be lightning round, so I'm trying to keep it short.
Oh my God, you're fine.
I would say, wow, actually, I've been really into don't just work in your business, work on your business. Take the time to really understand your numbers, right? Where are you driving your revenue from? What are the opportunities that feel really aligned? Where are the areas and gaps where in your communication process, in your any kind of your sales process that could be worked on and improved, because those things will eventually drive more of the business you want as well. So I think sometimes we get so caught up working in our businesses, especially as solopreneurs, we forget to work on our businesses as well, or we deprioritize it. So try to find time, carve it out once a week, once a month, once a quarter, to really evaluate how you're doing and all those processes. I think that's really important.
My 2 cents there is, once I changed that mindset, my business went shkoom, you know?
It's
Yeah. It's huge.
It's a game changer. It's a
Yeah.
game. I mean, and I know branding photos are kind of a part of that, right? It's the working on your business side. But there's so many things, right? I have to do it all the time. I make myself sit down and refocus, and it feels so good afterwards. I'm like, I just corrected this. I just worked on actually all my workflows in Dipsado. I don't know. Do you have a CRM?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you use Dipsado too? What do you
No,
use?
no.
Anybook or something?
Let's finish the lightning round real quick.
See, this is thank you for not distracting me. Sorry. I'm like, good.
You're good. But my last question. How do you de-stress?
I indulge in self-care. So I definitely I have a spa day coming up on Sunday. I'm so excited. That'll be really fun. Doing facials and a massage, really important. Or I do yoga, really into yoga and meditation. So that's how I de-stress. Yes.
I love it. Nichole, I'm so excited you came on here today. You just make my day. You light me up. You're the best. Seriously. Thank you.
Becca, you do such good energy. Thank you for having me.